Shalom Akim, this is Abaya Allah here, the surrogate of Yahawashi / paradigms, and they give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, BAHASHAM, Kahakwadash, devil honor to the apostles and elders at Greatmillstone, who taught me this truth, for real well, peace and salutation to the shepherds that feed the sheep of Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, which are the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, your so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, the so-called Hispanic, Latino tribes, and Native American Seminole Indians, which consists of the rest of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, and those who are scattered in every nation under heaven, all right, whose line goes back to those 12 tribes, okay, to you, and those who sincerely believe in this truth, to you I say shalom, to you men and women, all right. It's a real quick video, all right. It's the countdown to crunch time. Countdown to crunch time, baby. So we've been warning you, all right? The Lord's been preparing you for this time. Hey, we gotta prepare, man, to lose our jobs, to lose everything, all right? But right now, it's being sped up, Operation Warp Speed, right? Well, actually, it's the operation of the Heavenly Father, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi. This is our time, and this is what we've been waiting for. So, it's been turned up a huge notch, all right? Which we knew this was coming, all right? So, this shouldn't be a surprise if you're brand new. Yahawah is the Heavenly Father's ancient Hebrew name, which means He to be, and His only begotten Son, who the Word calls Jesus Christ. His Son, His real name in the Hebrew is Yahawashi, which means He to deliver. He's coming to deliver the elect, chosen of the nation of Israel, all right? The wicked of our people, the rest of the 2/3, or the wicked of my Israelites scattered across the world, will perish in these last days, all right, to be reborn in the kingdom of heaven as newborn babes to inherit the blessing that was given to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and his 12 sons, all right? That's including the women, all right? So I'm gonna play this video. We're just gonna go through. I'm not gonna say too much after this. We're just gonna go through the list, all right? This is the time.
And we have to get in those communities, and we have to knock on those doors, and we have to convince people, and put them in a car, and drive them, and get that vaccine in their arm, and get that vaccine in their arm. That is the mission.
Do my ears?
All right. So next. All right. These are divided lines, all right, between the jabbed and the unjabbed. All right, the vision is coming. All right, and it's happening all around the world. All right, or they're setting the precedent, the standard of what's to come. All right, to be ousted, outcasted. All right, and that's in Vancouver right now. All right, next. Sorry for the commercial.
After being postponed because of health for the first time in history.
But we all know the Delta variant has thrown us a curveball, and we are really, really focused on fighting the Delta variant. So last week, I announced for our frontline healthcare workers in the public sector, health and hospitals, DOH, the COVID safety requirement. Simply show proof of vaccination or get tested every single week. And I said last week this was only a beginning and we would be climbing up the ladder, more mandates to come. Well, today is that day. On September 13th, the entire city workforce will be mandated under the COVID safety mandate to either get vaccinated, which is far preferable, or get tested once a week. Let's be clear why this is so important. This is about our recovery. This is about what we need to do to bring back New York City. This is about keeping people safe. This is about making sure our families get through COVID okay. This is about bringing back jobs, you name it. In September, everything's going to come together. September is the pivot point of the recovery. September is when many employers are bringing back a lot of their employees. September is when school starts full strength. September is when people come back from the summer. September is when it will all happen. And so on September 13th, which is the first full day of school, every single city employee will be expected to be either vaccinated or be tested weekly. This means everybody. This means obviously everyone who works in our schools, our educators and staff. It means the NYPD, the FDNY. It means all city agencies. It means people who work in offices and people who work on the front line. Everyone. Because September is when the rubber hits the road, and this is when we have to make the difference, and so this mandate will be in place.
You heard it. You heard it. Next.
Dr. Fauci, as you are aware, it is a crime to lie to Congress. Section 1001 of the U.S. Criminal Code creates a felony and a 5-year penalty for lying to Congress. This research matches, these are Dr. Ebright's words, this research matches, indeed epitomizes, the definition of gain-of-function research done entirely in Wuhan, for which there was supposed to be a federal pause. Dr. Fauci, knowing that it is a crime to lie to Congress, do you wish to retract your statement of May 11th where you claimed that the NIH never funded gain-of-function research in Wuhan?
Microphone.
Your microphone.
Senator Paul, I have never lied before the Congress, and I do not retract that statement. This paper that you are referring to was judged by qualified staff up and down the chain as not being gain of function. Let me finish.
You take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans,
right.
You're saying that's not gain of function?
Yeah, that is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially. You do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially. You do not know what you are talking about.
How you can say that is not gain of function?
It is not.
It's a dance, and you're dancing around this because you're trying to obscure responsibility for 4 million people dying around the world from a pandemic.
If the point that you are making is that the grant that was funded as a sub-award from EcoHealth to Wuhan created SARS-CoV-2, that's where you are getting. Let me finish.
We don't know.
Well, wait a minute.
It did come from the lab, but all the evidence is pointing that it came from the lab, and there will be responsibility for those who funded the lab, including yourself.
I totally
This committee will allow the witness to respond.
I totally resent the lie that you are now propagating, Senator. Those viruses are molecularly impossible to result in SARS-CoV-2.
Pandemic. We're saying they are gain-of-function viruses because they were animal viruses that became more transmissible in human, and you funded it.
And you
admit the truth.
And you implying...
Senator Paul, your time has expired, and I will allow witnesses who come before this committee to respond.
You are implying that what we did was responsible for the deaths of individuals. I totally resent that. And if anybody is lying here, Senator, it is you.
Yeah, it's going down, baby. Going down. Let's keep going.
It would be impossible to sum up what these protests were about. In Britain, in France, Italy, Greece, Australia, people from all walks of life threw caution to the wind in a bid to be heard, to cry out. And the one thing that they all wanted is to say, we're tired and angry. One's first thought may be that this isn't very smart, staging a mass protest in the middle of a pandemic. Worse, while the Delta variant, so much more contagious, is making the rounds. And that is what Australian leaders, for example, latched onto, calling protesters morons.
In relation to yesterday's protest, can I say how absolutely disgusted I was? It broke my heart. Millions and millions of people across our state are doing the right thing. And it just broke my heart that people had such a disregard for their fellow citizens.
What we saw today in Sydney is unfortunately something that we've seen in cities that we all shake our heads at. It's quite clear that, Sydney isn't immune from morons as well.
Except, of course, it isn't that simple. People are weary. They are fatigued by this pandemic, the bad news, the lockdowns, the isolation, all over the world. In that respect, we're all the same. People yearn for freedoms and equality.
We are not against vaccines, as they claim. This is not an anti-vaccination movement. These are thinking people who want freedom.
I believe that this is an attack on fundamental freedoms. In France, there is a law saying medical procedures cannot be forced. Since vaccination is being imposed on us one way or another, the people behind the health passport are behaving like Nazis. We are forced to get vaccinated.
We no longer have freedom of choice, as we must obey the government, which, in my opinion, is tyrannical, despotic, and absolutely illegitimate.
Public irritation morphs into anger, even rage, and even lunacy.
At the Nuremberg trials, the doctors and nurses stood trial, and they hung!
Some go too far. Way too far. They never consider the other side of the argument, the millions and millions that have been killed by this virus. That is indisputable. And leaders have one overarching goal: to prevent millions more from sharing the same fate. And they have decided that personal freedoms over which Europeans fought wars, that those freedoms can be suspended.
The world is facing a fourth wave and we must act. And at the same time, we know the key to this problem. It's not new. The contagiousness of this Delta variant is forcing us to do more. We must vaccinate.
The bitter truth is that there is no miracle solution, not one that will make everyone happy. No matter how many protests people stage, or no matter how many lockdowns governments implement, the very best we can hope for are civility and perseverance, which will probably require protesters to refrain from trying to hang doctors and officials to desist from calling voters morons.
All right.
This is Dabu 7. It is going down all across Europe as we have people taking to the streets. Hundreds and hundreds of protests all over many different countries inside of Europe. 275 different protests alone in Italy and France. We have shown and tweeted out all the footage of the people taking to the streets in Greece, taking to the streets in places like France. You can see Paris, a clip of it here today. A sea of people. Where are you at, America? It's going up here. Clashing with the police in the streets. Matter of fact, we've seen a lot of this where the police have joined the people because they've been outnumbered and they were actually doing the job that they took an oath to do to begin with, serve and protect the people. I ask everybody out there that took the oath, what did you take the oath for? To serve and protect the beast or the people? Oh, you're going to say my country. Well, what is the country to you? The beast or your people? Foreign and domestic. Where you at? Yep. Where you at? All those that took an oath didn't have no problem signing up, save this country, to go off to some other country to do it. But we have to deal with the problem right here. Where's everybody at? People taking to the streets en masse. Ireland, the UK, France, Greece, all across the place. Where you at, America? Huh? Whole world rising. What's happening here in America? same crap being implemented and forced on people. Where are we at, America? Where do you want to peacefully assemble? Huh? Was everybody scared to be put on a list? Everybody living in fear? It's pathetic. The people are rising across Europe and around the globe while you sit on your tail, and it's pathetic. Okay? I'm down to ride. Somebody wants to get something together? That's cool. We may be having something put together in the works here. And once we get the ball rolling, it's on. Okay? But that's what we're doing. I suggest you do something in your neck of the woods. You gotta be the change that you seek. We cannot be waiting for other people to come around and try to do something around here. People start playing it. Do something in your own neighborhoods, in your own cities. Get something going. And it would be awesome to see something of great magnitude hit this country like we're seeing in others. Where there's a will, there is a way. Well, much love to all the patriots, to all the real
Yeah, no, we don't condone that. Us being the hopeful elect, we just sit back and watch the Lord do his work, all right, as he destroy these people and see the chaos and the conflictions, all right. See the people versus the government, see prophecy take place, see the world collide, all right. That's our position, all right.
For so long. It has nothing to do with Iraq.
Mr. President, Veterans Affairs is going to have a mandate.
You are such a pain in the neck, but I'm going to answer your question because we've known each other for so long. It has nothing to do with Iraq. The answer, no. I'll answer your question. Yes, Veteran Affairs is going to, in fact, require that all docs working in facilities are going to have to be vaccinated.
Thank you, guys. Let's go. Thank you, guys. Let's go. Come on, guys. Let's go. Thank you.
All right, President Biden, they're taking a question not on topic.
Mr. President, Veterans Affairs is going to have a mandate.
You are such a pain in the neck, but I'm going to answer your question because we've known each other for so long. It has nothing to do with Iraq. The answer, no. I'll answer your question. Yes, Veteran Affairs is going to, in fact, require that all docs working in facilities are going to have to be vaccinated.
Thank you, guys. Let's go. Thank you, guys. Let's go. Come on, guys. Let's go. Thank you.
All right, President Biden, they're taking a question not on topic.
All right, this is Baruch 4:27. It says, "Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto our power Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you, which the curses and Jacob's trouble that we're in right now. For as it was your mind to go astray from, your power, Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi, so being returned, seek him 10 times more." All right. "For he that hath brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy with your salvation." All right. That's mainly the curses. Deuteronomy 28:15. All right. On down to the end. It says, "Take a good heart, O Jerusalem," and this time it's the elect of the nation of Israel, the hopeful elect. "For he that gave thee that name," which is Yasha Allah in the Hebrew, all right, or Yerushalayim, all right, that's how you say Jerusalem in the Hebrew. It says, "For he that gave thee that name will comfort thee." All right, that's what this word, this truth. And the next level of that is that standard that's going to be lifted, all right, which is going to be spiritual power, godlike abilities, all right, divine protection, using the holy angels, all right, to protect you from danger and to direct your steps, all right, and also, even if certain of us die via beheading, all right, we're going to be totally comforted, all right, because those who die in Yahawashi and the Lord, they're going to be the first ones to receive them new bodies, all right, to be lifted up out of the graves, all right, to receive them new bodies, them incorruptible bodies, all right. So it's a catch-22, all right. So it says, "For he that gave thee that name will comfort thee," Miserable are they that afflicted thee. That's me talking about the nation of Edom, as well as Moab and Ishmael, Ham, all right, Amalek among Esau, these heathen nations, and even the 2/3, the wicked of our people, all right, who have established themselves in this world, all right, underneath their enemies, all right, to become an enemy to their own people, all right. It says, miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoiced at thy fall, all right. And it says, for miserable are the cities which thy children served, all right. That's what's coming. That's what's coming now, all right, under these new guidelines, all right. Miserable is she that received thy sons. And who's that she? Babylon the Great, aka America, all right, the mother of harlots, the mistress of witchcraft, all right. That's what it's mainly talking about, and it tell you at the go. I'm gonna read down. It says, for as she rejoiced at thy ruin, and was glad of thy fall, this is us as a whole nation, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I would take away the rejoicing of a great multitude. All right, you know what that is? Slovakia. Slovakia. That's that time, the season. It says, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. All right. American pride. All right. Mainly, which is looked down upon amongst these EU nations and these NATO nations around the world. All right, they're the pride of the American Edomite, and even our people. All right, on this side, it says, for fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. All right, that's going to, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Isaiah, we're talking about this. It shall be habitation of devils, roughly paraphrasing. All right, that's let you know that it's talking about that same scripture. All right, when the thermonuclear destruction has finished its course, the swords of the Lord, the armory of the Lord. All right, upon modern day Egypt, modern day Sodom, the second leg of the Roman Empire, Babylon the Great, all those ancient kingdoms and their philosophies and spirit in one. All right. And it says, O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from, and that should say Elohim, which is powers, which are the angelic forces, because that's how the elect of Israel is going to be delivered. All right, from the horrific judgment that's going to be upon the wicked. All right, that's how we're going to get beamed up out of here. All right, Elohim, which means powers, which are the angels, which are what? The chariots, all right, which are the so-called UAPs, UFOs, all right, which people have been seeing all around the world frequently, and the most sightings are where? Not a coincidence, in America, all right, in the States, all right, and it says, lo, thy sons come who thou sentest away, we are in the captivity, starting with the so-called Taino and Arawak Indians, so-called Puerto Ricans and Dominicans, all right, and even the other Central and South American tribes, no matter how wicked they are, certain of them, that was a curse upon all of us, all right, and then their brothers, so-called Negro tribes, ended it off, all right, which a majority of them came to America, some in South America and Central America, all right, and the islands. All right, and it says they come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One. All right, which is Yahawashi, which is happening now through the Spirit. All right, via this word through using the internet. But physically, when we get delivered and brought back to the land of Jerusalem, all right, the land of Israel, it says rejoicing in the glory of our power. Yahawah, Yahawashi. So, hope this video was edifying to the elect. Till next time, Shalom, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, Yahawashi, Barakatham. We're definitely almost out of here. It's evident. It's no longer a guess, alright? Till next time, Shalom.